When I tell you guys a story that happened today, I'm not making it up. It was very frustrating. And honestly, I was surprised by the end of what I just saw. And before we dive into this, I want to say shout out to everybody that's been subscribing, liking, and also commenting. And we got a comment from last video. I want to say a shout out to Captain Cave. I've been with you since the Bobby days, man, when he was with Schneider. I'm definitely a monster. I talk and I walk. And if I don't like the situation, I go find something better. Everybody else around me, they complain about how broke they are, but they continue to go back to the same job every day. I'm not built like that, man. Great video, sir. Shout out to you, Captain K. Round of applause. And this is a thing. Embracing becoming a monster is not becoming a demon, a heartless beast. Monster is an acronym, but then it also transcends you from being like a person. In the last video, I'll talk about people do two things: walk or talk. And typically, if you walk, you're just going with the herd. If you talk, all you do is just run your mouth. But ultimately, it takes somebody to become a monster that is able to do both. And so M.O.N.S.T.E.R, breaking down the acronym before we go over this video, is mindset, overachiever, never give up, self-discipline, transform, execute, and resilience. That is all M.O.N.S.T.E.R is. And a lot of times we don't want to be that. We want to skirt, and we probably want to be a part of the herd, but this is ultimately a time where you have to embrace being the monster before it's too late. So let's get into the story of what happened today. I was in my truck doing my deliveries, and for some reason there was this dang gunny fly about this small. This fly was flying around. Just only one was flying around, and typically, like, you can smack it real fast, and I'm pretty fast, so I'm like that or something like that. But for some reason this fly was faster. And at stop after stop, this fly was just still there. And I'm telling you, this is all real. It was irritating. I grab a box that I get. I'm starting banging. And it was at the moment that I finally got it. I was like, all right, it was behind my chair. I see a dead fly, but I'm like, this doesn't look like it. I go in to do my order for my client, and then I get out, get back in the truck, I finish up my day, and it wasn't until I finally got to the final destination that the fly showed itself, and I said, I knew you weren't dead. I knew you weren't. I opened up the window. I gave every opportunity for that fly to leave, and finally I got my eyes set on that fly. Anybody see what's it called, that Breaking Bad, when Heisenberg and Jesse was there, and they were in the vat, and the fly was everywhere, like literally just, it was called The Fly, I think. I felt like my life was just like that in that moment, that episode of a fly. And so I finally hit it, and what I think, I'm like, okay, I hit it 3 times and it's dead, but it's still moving. It's still moving. So then I'm like, what the heck? I actually pick it up. I'm like, I pick it up. It's like trying to live, trying to still live. I hit this thing 3 times. I've been chasing it at stop after stop. So I'm like, what the heck am I supposed to do with this thing? And I go ahead and I actually just put it on the floor outside, and it's still living. It's still, then I step on it. I stepped on the fly. It did not die. It didn't. I swear this happened. I swear it happened. It did not die. I crushed it with some dang gunny heavy composite boots. It did not die. So I look at it. I say, this is incredible. I walk away. I got to throw stuff in the trash, and then I walk back, and the fly is gone. I thought I left it there to die. I thought it was just gonna like, but it decided the whole entire time that though it was stuck in the truck and getting attacked, that it was gonna live for another few hours. And for some reason, I looked at that and I said, wow, that is deep. That is deep right there. A lot of people in their lives right now, they no longer, they feel like they're trapped, they're beaten, they're pushed to a pulp. They're getting stepped on. But yet they're trapped and they don't even understand it. They're like, man, and they give up, they die. Oftentimes we see the fattest fly easily knocked down and just flat on its back and dead. But this fly was thin, small, and ready to move faster than when my hand couldn't even hit it. A box couldn't hit it. It wasn't until I cornered it that I thought it was dead, but it was still moving on. And let me get to this thing, because man, this video right here, I can listen to it. Because I've been steaming this up in my head. I said, let me stew this and make this message just impactful for even myself. Because there's days I need it. But for some reason, I see the glorification of those on this dang gunnet platform making money for just saying doom and gloom. It was a time coming onto this app that you would instantly try to find motivation, but yet you got people making money off of your woes. How did we get here? There used to be a content creator. I don't even care if they watch this. There was a time that I was inspired by this person, but every time I see a video, it's complaining. And I'm going to tell you something. Complaining ain't doing nothing other than filling up their pockets. I'd rather motivate y'all. I'm monetized. But this is the thing, I stopped making videos. I could have made YouTube videos and sold my soul. But I knew I couldn't do it for the long term. But this right here, motivating, talking to people, making sure that they get their lives in check, that they got to be hungry. Listen, people, they talk about, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Man, I'm currently doing the hard stuff, the most difficult thing. People are like, oh, you're in this situation. I put myself in the situation. I've been in situations where I had the power. Man, some of y'all don't even know. Some of y'all don't even know how it feels to have a pregnant woman at a time, and you get laid off. You lose your job. Something happens. Now all of a sudden you hear the crunching of a man going to your backyard. You peer out the door and you see the power man ready to shut that off. Been too long. You don't know what it is. Scrapping and scrounging just to eat. Gotta go in your car to find some heat. Some of y'all don't know what it is to actually go through it, to actually get to the depths. And this is the dangerous part. Once you start doing the hard stuff, you start getting addicted, because the moment that you relax, it feels like you're going to explode. So the monster, that monster in me has been building ever since I was a kid. For some reason, as a kid, I knew that life was short. I looked at everybody around me and I said, man, I got to hurry up. I wish I slowed down just a little bit, but focused in the right areas. My mind was on track for the correct things, but I led astray because of my romantic feelings. Everybody has to identify, where's your weakness? What's your Achilles? And then once you got the Achilles, sometimes you cannot get rid of it, but you can protect it. And that's why Monster comes into play. We're talking about the mindset. We're talking about becoming an overachiever, to never give up, to have self-discipline, to transform, execute, and have resilience. That is the monster. I don't think some of y'all didn't even catch that. That's monster. That's the acronym for you. That fly, I swear this was real. That fly would not leave me alone. And for hours, he was stuck in that truck. I rolled down the window. I tried to get him out, but he didn't want to leave. But in the end, I don't know. He wasn't there where I left him. And that's where you need to be. A lot of people think, oh, I don't need them. I don't need them. I got to the point that I don't give a. I remember some people that motivated me to change that I can't even remember anymore. They probably like, dang, this guy's gone. I don't even remember them anymore. And sometimes you trying to impress a woman, you trying to impress a man, you trying to impress somebody in your life. Lo and behold, when time goes by, you'll forget about them. You'll be like, oh, dang, I forgot I was doing all this in the first place because they hurt me, because they didn't believe in me, because this. You'll start believing in you. Then you turn yourself into the enemy because you're like, why didn't I go just a little bit harder that day? I was talking to my dad. I said, man, I feel like a failure. He said, you're not a failure. You're working too many hours. But this is the thing. There was an internal conflict in me that's saying, could I keep doing this? And the answer I knew was yes. And I was like, why do I think it's a yes? Why do I think it's a yes? I hate it that I can go to something easier, but then I've been doing that and I always stagnate myself right before the finish line. Built up this YouTube channel. It's not easy. I've done it 3 times. 4 times actually. I've done it so many categories. I know it's not even just an accident. I've monetized. I've gained a community 4 times. Done it once when I was doing gaming, commentary. I done it twice when it was trucking. I did it 3 times when it's stocks, and I had to come back and do it a 4th time for this channel. Because I'm hungry. I'm here. I want this. But I've always, when I win, I'm scared. What happens when I get it all? Who am I? But this is the thing. I had no compass. No moral, nothing to tell me. What is my message? Where am I trying? And this is the thing I said, man, ever since I was a kid, I played as a monster and I had to adopt the monster mentality. I had to get rid of Facebook. I post on there, but I don't have the app. It just says for Instagram, I went viral on Instagram. All the people, they don't see, they question me. Why are you posting all this stuff? Because I got an audience over here that don't even, listen, the people that's closest to you are the people that could do the damage to you. Because they will literally try to put you back into the version that they knew. They cannot get over the fact that you grew. And I thought this was a lie. This cannot be possible. My friends will be my friends to the end of time. It's not until you start thinking and breaking out of the box that then all of a sudden people say, oh, wait, hold on. They're scared. Some people are ultimately scared of you. They try to call you a narcissist. They try to call you the enemy. They try to call you everything. But they don't even understand. They don't know the pain. They try to say, oh, they put labels on you all the dang gunning time instead of helping you. All they can do is just say, oh, don't do this in order to protect you. Lo and behold, that's just degrading you over time. I always ask the question, how far do I got to show greatness till I'm great? And I've always equated it to somebody external to me. But now I'm like, this got to come. I'm not great because I say I'm not great. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Why are you doing this to yourself? Because I have to. I have no choice. I was born this way. I've always said that if I don't get it, I might as well die. And it's not until I start putting my energy to the right things that I've seen a compound effect. One day, one moment, I decided to upload one reel. And then 1.1 million views. Recently, I got back on there. Posted another one. 1.5 million views. I started setting up a structure, a system. And this is what it means to become that monster. This video's too long. I could go off, man. But you got to embrace it before it's too late. Because time is ticking on by. Peace.